Hello everyone, welcome to our channel today. In this video, we're going to discuss the first heat cleansing formula for toxic condition. In this video, we're going to discuss Ji Xiao Du Yin. Ji Xiao Du Yin is a formula described in Jin Yuan dynasty. Jin Yuan dynasty is around 800 years ago. There's one very famous Chinese medicine practitioner in the history named Li Dongyuan. He also famous for his school in the medical history. He's more focused on emphasizing the spleen. So his school we call 25 Spring School. This formula, Ji Xiao Du Yin, was first described in his book. Let's see the ingredient first. 黄芩、黄连、陈皮、甘草、玄参、柴胡、桔梗、连翘、板蓝根、马柏、牛蒡子、薄荷、姜蚕、生麻。As you can see from the ingredients, it's actually quite a lot. It has 14 different herbs. And below the formula, it described that if the patient have constipation, we can add dai huang to the formula. Ji Xiao Du Yin is a formula to treat 大头瘟. 大头瘟 is an epidemic disease at the age around 13th century. The cause of 大头瘟 is the patient was attacked by the epidemic toxic condition, epidemic fetus, and this fetus, when it shows on the patient the symptom, we can see it's the property of the pathogen is very hot and severe heat, severe hot, and that's why we said it's due to the toxic pathogen. The toxic only emphasize the levels, the severe condition of the heat level. Before we discuss the formula in details, we need to know what's 大头瘟. 大头瘟, nowadays this kind of disease we don't see that much, and it described in the books that the patient got swollen head, which from the name of the disease, 大头瘟. 大头means big head. So this kind of patient will be swollen in the face, the ear area, even it will be swollen in tongues, in throat. That's why sometimes this condition is dangerous, because the patient can't breathe and sometimes they can't swallow. So it's a very severe condition. 大头瘟, it can cause the epidemic diseases. So if one patient suffers from 大头瘟, and the other, his relative or the people around him may also infected. So that's why it's severe, it's dangerous, it will cause epidemic diseases. This disease, nowadays we don't see that often, but there's some medical condition we can see which is similar to this condition. So for those diseases, we can use this kind of formula, or we can treat modified Ji Xiao Du Yin, such as parotitis or mumps. The symptom of parotitis or mumps is also the patient will be swollen on the ear region, especially for the kids. For parotitis, we can use Ji Xiao Du Yin to treat. Now let's discuss 普济消毒饮. 普济消毒饮 it describes the symptoms of the patient. The patient have swollen face, even the severe swollen, so even the eyes. Sometimes the patient can't open the eyes because of the swollen. The patient have a sore throat or irritated throat, and dry mouth, dry tongue, thirsty, red tongue, and yellow coating. The pulse is rapid and powerful. This kind of patient, at the beginning, they will be allergic to cold, sometimes have fever, headache, and they might have sweating or no sweat. Most of the condition is no sweat. At the beginning, it's very similar to common cold. So the patient will be allergic to cold, have fever, and sore throat. So sometimes if we use the normal formula, such as Ji Xiao Du Yin or San Ao Tang or Ma Huang Tang, which we have discussed in the previous video, if we use those kinds of formula, it's not strong enough for this disease. 大头瘟, the pathogen is focused on the upper jaw. So the upper jaw, it focuses on the upper jaw, and the heat will go. It's very similar to the fire. So when you burn the wood, the fire is at the bottom. The wood is at the bottom. The fire is going to on top, and you can feel the hot feeling, the heat on top of the wood. So it's very similar when the pathogen go to the upper jaw, which is in our lung area, and the lung area have the fire there, and we have the heat feeling or the hot symptoms in our head, in our face area, because fire have the character of moving upwards. That's why patient will have the symptoms on the face, the swollen face, swollen throats or sore throats. So in this formula, the first two main herbs we use Huang Qin, Huang Lian, and we use Huang Qin, Huang Lian, and actually kinds of very large dose, because Huang Qin, Huang Lian can clear the heat in upper jaw, in lung and stomach. Ju Hong is similar to Chen Pi. It can help to clear the phlegm in the throat. And the other ingredients, 牛蒡子、薄荷、连翘、马柏、姜蚕、板蓝根. Here, these groups, there are 6 different herbs in this group. The main function of this group, you can see they are either leaves or flowers or the seeds of the plants. The main function of this group of herbs is to guide the heat from qi level to superficial. So in 4 levels differentiation method, we discussed if the heat goes deeper and deeper from wei level, which is superficial, to qi level. If the heat stay in qi level, we can use the herbs to guide the heat back to superficial, which is make easier to clear, to relieve the heat symptom. But this kind of method is based on the formula. The whole formula, we can't use this kinds of ingredient. We can't use these 6 ingredients as the main herbs. These 6 ingredients are added to the main herb Huang Qin, Huang Lian, which are clear the heat formula. So you can see here, when we discuss this, there are something dominant and something was added. If the patient have the heat in weight level, in superficial level, we will use Yin Qiao San or Ma Huang Tang. These are the formula used for superficial condition. But here, when we discuss the patient have the heat in lung, in stomach, the tongue is red tongue with white coating or slightly yellow coating. It means the heat goes to qi level. When the heat in qi level, the dominant herbs will be the herbs to clear the heat in qi level. So we use the main herb. We use Huang Lian and Huang Qing as the main herbs. And the other herbs, although we use 6 different herbs to add to these 2 main herbs, but this group, these 6 herbs, are not the dominant herbs. We can't use them as the main herbs because if you use the main herbs, we treat the different area. The heat is in qi level, we treat in the wei level. It doesn't work that well, so we can use the wei level herbs. We add to the qi level formula. So the main herbs of this formula is Huang Lian and Huang Qing. Then we can add the other herbs to this main herbs to help to relieve the heat in qi level. Also in this group, Jiang Can, Ma Bo, Lian Qiao, Ban Lan Geng, these 4 herbs are going to lung and stomach meridian. Ma Bo can help to relieve the sore throat. Jiang Can can dispel the wind, can clear the phlegm. So the patient have this kind of patient, they have sore throats, they can feel irritated in the throat area. What's making the irritation is actually phlegm. That's why we use Ji Hong, and here we use Jiang Can to help to clear the phlegm. Lian Qiao have the function to. Lian Qiao is the flower, it's very light. It goes to upper jaw, so it can guide the heat back to superficial level. And Lian Qiao we have discussed in Yin Qiao San. There's one more herb in this formula we're going to discuss is Sen Ma. Sen Ma have the function to ascend. So Sen Ma have the function to move something upwards. When we discuss the herbs to move something upwards, we can use Sen Ma, we can use Cai Hu. These 2 herbs have the function to move something upwards, but they are different. The difference is Cai Hu is more focused on Shaoyang meridian, so it can ascend Shaoyang qi. Sen Ma is the herb to ascend Yangming qi. So these are the difference. Yangming is stomach and intestine. Shaoyang is liver and gallbladder. 大头瘟, this disease is in one disease category. In the previous video, why to use 4 formula for one flu. There we have discussed that one disease have the character of changing very quick. For this kind of patient, when the pathogen, the toxic heat attack the lung, and if attack the lung, and it will go down to the intestine directly, so the patient will have constipation. And if the patient have constipation, we can add Dai Huang to this formula. Dai Huang is a purging herb. It's a purging herb to cause diarrhea. So when we use Dai Huang and Sen Ma, one is going down, one is moving up, this whole formula is more active. Parotitis and 大头瘟 are different disease, but parotitis we can use Ji Xiao Du Yin to treat. But when we use this formula to treat peritonitis, we need to be careful that peritonitis is not as severe as start over. So when we use the formula, we can adjust, we can modify the ingredients. There's one more formula we can introduce in this video. If the patient has peritonitis, we also can use Chinese medicine external method to help to treat them. We can use, the ingredients are two. One is Dai Huang, the other one is Tiananxin. We use these two herbs, we grind into very fine powder, then we can mix with tea and we apply the powder to the affected area. So this can help to release the swollen or peritonitis. Thank you for watching our video today. For more information, you can visit our website. See you next time.